Gay and lesbian activists believe their constitutional right to get married is under threat. Today, hundreds marched across the country to highlight their concerns. They're reacting to calls for the Civil Union Act to be scrapped.
It acknowledged and legalized same-sex marriages in South Africa. The Civil Union Act was a milestone for homosexuals. Six years after it was passed, calls by the Congress of Traditional Leaders to have it scrapped have been met with outrage. Raising the flag, these protesters launched the Hands Off Our Rights campaign.
Speaking, in a private capacity, if I want to get married one day, if I want to walk down the street with, someone who is my partner, I would like to do these things as normal, as part of my life. I don't need any infringements on my life.
They're trying to take LGBT rights out of the Constitution. I think it's ridiculous.
If they take our constitutional rights, we are going to fight them. We're not going to take this lying down.
The memorandum calls for more laws to protect gays and lesbians. It also wants corrective rape to be classified as a crime. But there was no one from the court to accept the document because there's no legal challenge. These men and women say it's worrying that in 2012 they have to protest against what they regard as homophobic remarks which threaten their constitutional rights. They want government to assure them that it won't consider calls for changes to laws which they deem undemocratic. Shahan Ramkisoon, eNews, Johannesburg.
Well, joining me now is Gay Flag of SA's Ambassador Genevieve Lecoq. Genevieve, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Mbali.
Well, it has been a busy couple of days. First, President Barack Obama came out and said he supported gay and lesbian marriage. And then Contralisa came out and said no, they didn't agree with same-sex marriage. What was your reaction to this?
Well, obviously, we feel quite offended by that because we humans, as everybody else in this country, and we do have the fundamental human rights to be in civil unions and specifically term it as a marriage.
Well, let's talk about the civil union now. The calls for the Civil Union Act to be scrapped with regards to gay and lesbian rights. Talk to us about that.
Well, I think there's a various amount of implications. Firstly, families that's affected by it right now, that's already in those unions, and obviously the implications of that on families now being split up because of subliminal political issues that's being, kind of like played out with us. And obviously as well, if this gets disillusioned, as well the implication of hate crimes that might increase as well.
Genevieve, talk to us about some of the discrimination that the gay and lesbian community still face, particularly here at home.
I think one of the main aspects that we have to address in terms of the traditionalists, the traditionalist camps in South Africa, is the ignorance and the procrastination and the negativity around us. And I think there is no reason for that to be, that we are contributing citizens of this country, and we do our best and we are proud of ourselves and we contribute as anybody else in this country.
And you are busy showing your pride currently today, and I imagine throughout the rest of the week. Just talk to us about some of the activities that you guys have got lined up.
Indeed, today was a very important day for us. We launched nationwide protest action through the country. Obviously, me and myself and Monique Walker was the coordinators for the Johannesburg protest going to the Constitutional Court. We also had protest march in Durban, Port Elizabeth and Cape Town. So even though we didn't get any reception at the Constitutional Court, I think it's important to give a symbol of solidarity within the LGBTI community in South Africa.
And I mean, just give us more background information into some of the more causes that keep you as an organization busy throughout the year.
As ambassador of the Gay Flag of South Africa, our main cause that we support is corrective rape. Now, this is one of the very specific things with Contralisa that we have to address, because in the rural areas, this is where corrective rape is definitely at a very serious level. And it's a very serious hate crime because it's not only a sexual violation that's taking place, but usually there's murder connected to that as well. So that's really at the top of our list that we have to address. If any cultural or religious rituals or practices violates human rights, we take issue, because that is unconstitutional in every way.
Let's expand on that a little bit more, Genevieve. When you find yourself dealing with young people, young gay and lesbian people in these rural areas, and when they hear an organization like Contralisa saying to be gay or lesbian is to be un-African, what does it do to these young people to hear things like that?
I think it really, firstly, it hinders the rest of our family that's too shy or too scared to come out. It really prevents them from living an open and free life. And I think it does insult all the work that we've done to show our value as citizens in this country. I was also part of the Budget Gay Flag of South Africa bus tour last year, and we traveled through the country, and it was really an eye-opener for me to see the different issues that came up. We visited a rural area in Kwatema, and we met with them there, and that's one of the crucial areas where the hate crimes, especially for black lesbians, is at a very high level, where the sexual violation and murder goes hand in hand. And I was absolutely inspired by how motivated these people are to be who they are, and they are proud. And this is different from putting on a pair of heels and, you know, going out and doing your thing, than being in an area where your life is at threat. And I was really motivated by this, and it made me realize that I have to do what I can to voice my opinion and that of my brothers and sisters.
And I suppose the closing message, Genevieve, at the end of it all is that this is a human rights issue after all.
Indeed, indeed. What we are saying is that we don't accept the Constitution changing in any way. It is our fundamental rights. And further over and above that is that it's not enough. Our Constitution is the most progressive one in the world, which is an honor to say, and we are proud of our Constitution. And at a level like this, that we have to now bicker about sexual orientation, is a bit of a time waster, I would suppose. So what I would say is that we'd like to extend our rights. We'd like to have sexual violations against LGBTI people to be fully recognized, that when anything like this does happen, that there is proper procedure that we can follow and that we can prosecute.
Well, that's where we'll leave it. Genevieve, thank you for taking the time to come in and speak to us this afternoon.
Thank you, Mavali.
That was Gay Flag of SA's Ambassador Genevieve Lecoq.